Okay. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for attending this. This will be a first tutorial on how to bring different projects into the platform of Twinmotion and how to upload this into the cloud to then to be used as a presentation tool for the Biennale. So the idea here is to prepare all the geometry starting from Rhino and SketchUp, and I will show you a process of how we can integrate these two software platforms and how we can bring those information into Twinmotion, and there we're going to put materials and put entourage, people and vegetation, and then we can upload that into the cloud, into the Twinmotion servers, and then you will get a link for you to put into different websites or send it to your teacher or client. And this is everything is thanks to what we're doing right now in the New York Architecture Biennale, and that's the screen you're looking at now. And this is the VR tutorial. And this is my name, Jose Miguel Armijo. I'm a design technologist. And if you want to scan the QR code, that will lead you to my website where I have more kind of like a sample of what we're talking about.
Here you can see in the website what I was talking about. You have different examples that are already in VR mode. For instance, you go to the middle of the page, you can see this Martian environment that is already in a virtual reality. But the example that we're going to do today is this one. So if we click on this, you're going to see the web page is already loaded with some of the images from my process. So for instance, for creating this 3D model, I also created all the CAD files for 3D printing, but those files also helped me create this virtual model that we're going to make in this session.
So first of all, this tutorial we'll start with SketchUp, and it will be about how to bring a project that they work some years ago, and it's a monastery in Santiago. It's a Moronist monastery in Santiago at the Benedict Temple, and we're going to start by making the geography around the building, and then we're going to bring the project of the building that it looks like this, and we're going to bring that into the file of the Twinmotion. I have the samples already shared with you in the email, where we have already the 3D model in Rhino and the terrain in SketchUp. But here we're going to start from scratch. The first thing we're going to do here then is open SketchUp. You can download, I have it in the instruction mail already. You can download the SketchUp from the website, and you can use it as a trial for 90 days. And that will be enough for us to do this exercise. So first of all, when you open SketchUp, choose architecture and meters. If you want to be sure that this is the units that you are working on, you can go to setup. Sorry, I am a little confused by this and the other software, so probably I will cut this part. Do you remember where is the setup in here? The units?
It should be the
Here,
tools.
model info. Sorry, yeah.
Okay.
In model info, you go to just to make sure that this is in meters and everything is correct, because you need to be consistent. If you work in feet, you need to put that unit in the different software at the same, the different configuration of preferences. Okay. So we're going to delete this this model there, and we're going to add the location of this project. So in also here in the tutorial, I put the address of this, and the address of the location is Monte Cassino, 960 Comuna de las Condes. This is in Santiago. And this is something that we can just also put directly by locating the city. So we're going to go to geolocation and add location. Again, location and add location. And here you can search for Santiago de Chile, or you can put the address directly, and I put it before. That's why I have it here. And you can see that the building is, you can put here Monte Cassino. Sorry, Monte Cassino. Let me see the entire address. $1960. So here you will have this, the address, and you actually can see it from the top. Is here, this building here. So what do you want to do is to start bringing all this terrain. So you can just select region and import. You'll see that you have this first image here. After that, what I want you to do is to you can import more imagery by going again to the same place. Sorry, hold on. You can go to, first of all, you can show the terrain, so you can have the mesh of the surface is there, and you can add more imagery. And you can then we can go to the Twinmotion software and open it. And you will see that the Twinmotion engine is now open, and you can see this is the first page of the first page of the Twinmotion. So here you will see that you have three areas basically. You have the library, you have the scene, where you will have like layers and containers, and we will talk about this later. And here we have another one that is the settings import panel. So the first thing I want you to do is to click on import. And you can import by different ways. And we're going to start by importing geometry. And we're going to open that. And just going to go ahead and click on the SketchUp file and ask for open. Okay. A couple of considerations here. When you open, remember to you can leave it by collapse by material. It's okay. the up axis is the seed, like zebra, see up, and the unit conversion now is out. Okay. Something I forgot to do, and that's why it's super important. I will not import right away. Is to check out that units are. So that was my first thing I should always do. So in this case, the units are in edit preferences. So again, you go here, go to edit, then you go for preferences. And in preferences, the first one is unit system, and you make sure that it's in meters. So we have a consistency between different platforms. Again, always check out the units first, especially if you're working, collaborating with the US, Imperial versus metric system. So again, go to geometry, import, open, and here you click on the SketchUp file, and you will see that right away it reads this kind of file. So it's super convenient. So the unit conversion can be auto because they're the same, and you can collapse my material. It's okay, and we say we'll go import. So now it's reading data.
So, Jose, what is the meaning of collapse by material?
So we will look this into more in the Rhino part of the tutorial, but that means that it will make containers my material. For instance, if you have several different layers that are metal, it will make a group of everything that has that material.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so if you move around, and this is also a cue for me for talk to you about how to move in this program. This program uses a lot of like video games system. So with the mouse, you can basically turn around, and with the left hand, you can go into the WASD keyboard, and with that you can move around. No, so between these two things you can move, and you can see that there is it's slow, and it's slow for a reason that we will talk about later. That you can set different paths that will be for people walking, or if you are like in drone mode or you're flying away. So you will have speeds that goes from 1 to 4. So in the keyboard, if you press 2 and move, you will see that it will be more, will have more speed. If you press 3, it will have more speed, and 4. If you press 4, it will be more. No. Other keyboards that are good to know is Q and E. With Q you go up, and E down. Q and E. So it's basically all the different controls from a video game. Okay. Also, something also that you can use is the wheel from the mouse to go forward and back. So a couple of things after talking about that is that there is, if we open up again this tab, you'll see that there is a new thing here, and they call these containers. There is a container here, and the container basically is everything that was import. And if you open here, you will see that there's all these different all the different snapshots that I took from SketchUp. However, you know that it's a little bit, the floor also, they call it the starting ground, is a little bit up. So we can move the ground down a little bit down or up, or we move up the terrain. I prefer to move the terrain up, and if you select here, a gizmo here will appear. And when we have that gizmo selecting here, you can go and push this up, so you will have the whole terrain of your project here. No? So now we have all this terrain. And we can start changing a little bit the setting, because the setting is kind of generic, and I would prefer something that looks like more like my hometown in Santiago. So here, if you go here, you can go to settings, and in settings you can change the location. For instance, the location here, you can also again just move it to whatever city or part of the city you're located on. I'm going to move it to Santiago. And again, you can see right away that the lighting changed right away. You can also change the north, but right now, the north is the same place that the SketchUp is, so just keep it that way. Something else that you can change is the background. So for instance, right now we have this picture, like generic picture in the background, but you can change it to have like a particular set. Even you can add your own picture. And Santiago is like in the middle of the mountain, so I will change it to that. Santiago is in between like the Andes, so it's more like this kind of landscape. And also you can rotate this. You can rotate the background. So okay. And something also you can start looking to do is, for instance, if you go and try to look at your project location, for instance, let's see that you have this. This is the project location. Let's see. Let's try to save a couple of images so we have an idea of what to start looking for. So from here, let's say if we want to set a picture that looks kind of like that, and everything is here, like in media, you have images, panorama, videos, different things to do. But for now, just let's create a couple of images, one here. And right now here is like, when you have this frame, you are in like this image mode, and you can quit this by going back. And then I will take another one from here. And again, you can quit that. Now we're reaching a good point to save our file. Let's put here save as. And we're just going to save as Benedictinus C in my case. Okay. But because I already prepared this file, I'm going to just, sorry, I'm going to save it. Okay, so first part is done. We have all of these. We already did a terrain in SketchUp. You can also apply if you already have your geometry in SketchUp. You can use this direct link. Then we brought that into Twinmotion. We changed some parameters. And we are creating like a basic couple of views for us. No? The next thing that we're going to do is go to Rhinoceros and open a new file and just look at this example and how we need to prepare this to bring it to motion. So they both have a really good integration. Okay. So we open, now we open Rhino. We have Rhino open. And the file basically look like this. And I have some issues with the computer. Give me a second. I'm trying to close a couple of things. Okay. So I have the Rhinoceros file, and the first thing we need to do is check out again the units. We're going to clean a little bit the model. We're going to see why it's important the layers by material. Create a new layer, and we're going to create a new layer and I'm going to show you how to change one item and how to create a new material. And then we're going to export the motion by direct link. Okay. So first of all, I hope that you could download the link that I sent you about the direct link. If that's the case, you will have this datasmith tool bar here in Rhino. It will be like that probably, but you can just go there and put datasmith there. With that tool, you can just direct import and refresh your geometry whenever you need to. So the first thing, again, is we're going to check out that the properties. We have the units, it's meters, yeah. Everything is okay there. And we're going to clean up model. So what I mean with clean up model is try to delete everything outside the model, like if there are hidden geometry or CAD items or lines. Specifically for this exercise for the Meet Your Architecture Biennale, that will help us have a lighter project. However, if you're working for a professional work, you can just keep everything in. But for this particular effort, it's better to have like lighter models. And then another thing that's important is to move sometimes people will work a little farther away from the 0, 0 coordinates. And I think it's important now to move it. We're going to move this into the 0, 0. And it's there. Now, if you can see here to my right, I have the layers by different materials. And for instance, I have the terrain. It's only one layer, and you can turn off and turn on. You have the roof. It's also one material, the roof. You have the walls, concrete. You have other, the chairs are all of wood, and there's one single layer, and everything is right now has their own layer now. And what we're going to do now is to show you how you can create a new layer, and we're going to put an object that is different from the rest over there, and we're going to name it the way it should be named, and we're going to apply a specific material because that will help us later on when we go to motion. So the thing that I want to change and put into its own layer is this part. It is called the entrance floor. All of this is different than the rest of the rest of the floor. So I'm going to just, it's a demonstration, so we're not going to spend some time in all of them, but a couple. Yeah. And this will, with right click on top of the layer, you can change object layer. This is also part of change of object layers. Okay. And you can change the color of the layer. That way you can see which materials or which geometries are part of this. So you can see now that all of this. So we're going to call this entrance floor. And in Rhino, materials are usually here, but you can, if you don't see it, you can right click on top of layer, and over there you can click on material. And the way you create a new material is super simple. You click here, you see that there's empty, there's nothing here. So you click there. You can name the material, entrance floor. And you can choose a placeholder material. It can be anything. Let's call it custom, and we change the color a little bit. We put a gray, something like a gray stuff. And we click OK. And that's it. We have a new layer, and the layer has its own material. And that's important for the next step. You can see it here. So what we're going to do now, right now, is go to Twinmotion. We're going again to import. We're going to import, and we're going to click now, instead of geometry, we're going to direct link. And if you go to direct link, you can see that right now is recognizing that I have already the software open, and it's asking for the if they can use the Rhino VR Monasterio 001. And in collapse, we're going to collapse by material. The other way to do this, and this is what we were talking at the beginning, is that you can also keep hierarchy. And keep hierarchy is also good because you can bring everything by layer. But you cannot assign to the whole layer the material. That's why I personally prefer the collapse by material. Is easier to handle. Substitution table is something that I haven't worked much yet, but it's basically an Excel spreadsheet that you can put the name of the material in Rhino, and then to the right you can put the name of the material in Twinmotion, so you will have a easier integration. But it's not something that we're going to work here. We're just going to put the material from scratch. And that's it. You will click on import. And the thing is, also you need to click import not only here, because it's not you can see that it's not there yet here in the in the tab for the containers, you need to click also link in Rhino. So you go back to Rhino and you click here, synchronize. Synchronize. And you can see here in the program that is already been loaded there. So now you can ask me, where is the model? So you can go up.
Where is the model?
Yeah. So it's buried underneath the surface. But if you click here, you will have the gizmo again. You can just bring it up. And you can see the models there. It's floating. So what we're going to do is basically we're going to put this into the location. In this case, the location is to the other side. The location is there. So we're going to take these and move it there. And gently put it there. And also you see you can also rotate this and this way and put it there. That's it. Okay. So you can spend more time doing the integration between the two models. But I'm going to show you that also you can start covering some part of this model with some vegetation and some other features. You kind of hide the places where they're not 100% into. So you have that. Okay. So we reach a milestone there. Now you have the two of them integrated in one object. There are different things you can do now. For instance, in this foot, you can start, for instance, you click here, pedestrian mode, you will have like, you can start walking, and even you can hear the steps. So you can start walking around the mall and or you can go again to fly mode. Okay. Any questions? We can save now. We're going to save this. And we're going to save it that we already have many things of C2. Let's save it like that. Any questions so far?
So far, so good.
We can import SketchUp model also in Twinmotion.
Yeah, we did that.
Okay.
So everything is you see in the bottom is SketchUp. The terrain is SketchUp. So you can bring also geometry from SketchUp. But you need to apply the same criteria, like clear your model, put it on different layers, and try to, and when you import by material.
Import by material. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a question. So in order to import the terrain from Google Earth, SketchUp should be the tool, right?
I work this way. Yeah. If there's any other way, and
No, I think,
that
it's good. It's good to know, because I want to understand. People can make their models in whatever software they want. Probably it's going to be SketchUp or Rhino, or something that they can import into SketchUp or Rhino to do this. But we are going to base on model of geometry of the model in SketchUp or Rhino, and then for the terrain, SketchUp would be the easiest way.
yeah, I mean, basically, this is my workflow for all the projects.
Yep.
Do is just use SketchUp for. So SketchUp is really good when you, for example, need a kitchen or
interiors.
a lot of interior design. That's really good for entourage.
Yeah.
However, I much rather to work modeling in Rhino, but the good thing about this is integrated. So you can decide. Okay, so and we're going to do the last part. And you see already there's a couple of things that we're going to solve in this part. Some of the geometry you will import, because the way you model it will be up or down. So this software for like Twinmotion and other rendering software, when they produce renderings, they look into the normal in a way to save the graphic card extra work.
Okay.
Because they put the material only in one surface, only in one side.
Yeah. So when you know you have issues with one layer, they have the normal to any direction. The material we're going to put, we're going to ask for double side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Double side.
Okay.
So this is something that we can start looking at right now. So first of all, the tab here for materials, we're going to close this. In the tab for materials, you see that there is materials, vegetation, objects, lights, megascans, vehicles, characters, skydome, tools, user library. Let's start just for materials. And the next thing we do is go to ground. Sorry. We go to ground. There's two, man-made and nature. We're going to nature, and there are different types. So we're going to use grass, and we put the grass here. And you can see here there is in settings. When we put the material, you will have these different factor settings that you can change. And if you go here, you see there is the two-sided there. If you click there, it will appear.
There you go.
That's nice.
Okay. Yeah.
And now you avoided the problem of the normals with this.
Yeah. And then other thing you can do here is scale. The scale is also important. You can change it. You could change it like that. You can set the color too. You can set the color. The color. Yeah, I think this is good enough for now. That part. Then we will look at to add some, and this is something we can continue in the more advanced part. You can add a little bit of grass, of bushes, and more materials or entourage. Then we will start. We have the same issue here. You can see it there. There's like something going in there, and this is basically from the floor. So every time we select something, every time you select something, it will be highlighted too in the scene tab. So if you take this one, you see that the floor is something going on with the floor. And so I'm going to take care of that by adding the material right away. And I know that the material is concrete. And let me show you a little bit of what is the monastery. So the monastery is like this. Can you see my web browser?
Yep.
So basically the monastery, the floor inside is also concrete. Everything is concrete. So I think we're going to use the slab, the concrete one. And again, you go to settings, and you put two-sided, and that's okay.
Nice.
Now you can go inside and see how it starts to look. And if there is any more issues, you probably need to use again the trick for parts of the building. You can change also again, you can use this part to go back to the other settings of the material. I'm going to change the scale here. I think the scale is something like that. Under scale, it's very intuitive. So for instance, if you want to rotate the material, you go under scale, it's a go to more, and you can rotate the over there. Where is this direction going?
That's nice.
And also you can change and move both of this. You can start doing a lot of the settings. For instance, the tile too. The tile is something different outside. I think it was more like a. You go back. You can go to tiles or stone. Remember this one as stone, something like that outside. And again, you can change this, the scale. And there is something also, change the scale. And
What happens when you do the weather on or off?
it will be affected or not by the weather. And that's pretty good. You can see it after. We can have, you want to have the same way we did like one image. We can have an image that is winter, another that is summer, and materials will be affected or not by this.
Okay.
So I think the last thing I want to show that is important for materials is let's go for wall covering. And wall covering, I will show growth coating. I will have this one. This one is kind of the one that is the real one. And I want to show this one because first it has a, I'm going to change the scale, put 0.3. This is really good because you have like real feedback right away. Change this a little bit. And there is something that I really like about this. You can put also two-sided. And if you go back to color, and in color, you can go to more. So again, color, more, and there's something called grunge, kind of like Nirvana, grunge. So this is really good because it's basically is making imperfections that will give you a little more reality. And this is something that I used to struggle a lot with other software, that they just put a material and it look like the same. If you put more or less grunge, you will have like variations. And it's basically what happened in real life. Nothing's perfect when you apply this, especially in this project that's been weathered during many years. Okay, and I think that's good enough for now, for just moving to show you a couple of more capabilities of this. So we're going to save this like this. So this is an image that we'd like to put, is something like that probably. And it really looks like most of the images that we have online is kind of like this view. This is similar to this, so I'm going to put something like that. And again, you go to media, image, and you create an image. You have that. And you quit media mode now. So the last part I want to show you briefly is to add a couple of characters. You can go to, you have animated humans. For instance, you can have there's people walking, there's like a lot of different doing different things. Or you can have also a group of humans too. So for instance, let's put this here, people after visiting the. Do you put it there? That's it.
And they move and everything, that's great.
Yeah, they move. I wonder if they have some priest or something.
Nice. That's really nice.
Even you can add music and other things. You can add, for instance, if they're in a party, or I think this is a line. And you can see that they will adapt to the geometry. So you don't need to move it. They will do it themselves. You can rotate this. So they're waiting for entering something. Okay. And other things that I encourage you to explore is trees. You have different trees. In Chile, we have a lot of the apple trees. It's very Mediterranean.
The apple tree is Mediterranean? I mean, I would say no, not the Mediterranean.
Or what they
There's
grow
there's
is
only pine trees in the Mediterranean. There's no vegetation in there, and only trees. Yeah. I would say it's more Atlantic.
yeah.
The apples. They're great, these trees.
So
I like
I
that
put
tree.
so I put a couple there. And the good thing also about this is that you can take the tree and you can, it's parametric, so you can change it.
Nice.
So you can change it, how big it is.
This is the fun part.
Yeah.
You can season also. You can change the color of the tree.
I am very surprised with the the easiness of adaptation of these all elements and the materials. It's incredible how intuitive and easy. That's great.
Yeah, no, and it's super easy to. For instance, there is digital grasses, so you can start doing this kind of too.
Wow.
You can have more detail, but that's we can do more of that in another session, like more.
Yeah.
Just wanted to start showing this, and the last thing I wanted to show is, well, also you can add a rock. I think it's a rock here. Okay. You can start adding and do your landscape and add different elements to the image. And the last thing I want to show you, image. So for example, let's update this one for this person. We'll show something like something more like that. And again, I think the rest, the next session, we can add more vegetation and more things.
Jose, can you just add one light maybe in the interior just to see how?
Yeah, good call. Basically, that's something that we're no.
Yeah.
And for instance, there is this part here is called the crypt. It's like another part of the temple that is downstairs.
Okay.
And that's a really good view. And here we can go to the lights. And it's super easy. I will put like an area light here.
Wow.
Oh, that's nice.
So easy.
Wow. Oh my God,
let's
that's nice.
Let's put another one here also. And wonderful. You can also change the
intensities and colors and everything.
So if you go, we can go back to one of the images. Let's say we'll keep that one. And let's go, we can change the time of the day.
Oh, nice. Oh my God, that's excellent.
And you can, let's try.
Priyanka, if you knew how was this shit when we were in college? What we had to suffer to do a night view.
Yeah, yeah, I know. This is so easy with the software.
Yeah.
It looks great.
So basically, you can start like changing everything and addressing the lights. And you can mold the light and you can add the specific part of it.
Wow. Amazing.
I would say it's more intuitive than Enscape even.
Yeah, this is even easier than Inkscape.
Yeah.
So realistic.
Okay. And the last part, I will just save it like that. I like that piece more.
Evening, sorry.
I will save another like view from afternoon. So you can see this is like middle of the day, this is afternoon, and you can also change to the time of the day.
Wow.
So let's say you have a night
Wow.
view of the crypt,
Nice.
and you see it and everything in the back. You add that. Okay. Now the last part that is the most important. We're going to have a presentation. We're gonna add, this is the last part. We're going to make here, you can do a presentation and you can add all your images. Just add all your images and say, okay, I want this to do my presentation for, and we can change this to be first this one, maybe this one there, either this, and you organize everything, no? You go again back to the media presentation, and you go to export. Go to put a presentation here too, and we can change the name. We're going to change the name. We'll call it and we go to export again. Empty presentation details. And I have here, you can export this, and you can export the presentation. It is already here. You put it here too. So what's going to happen in this part locally, it's going to save different shots. You can use it as a render. And in this part cloud, early access, the presentation, and you can upload this to the cloud. And you click here, start.
What we want, right?
This is what we're, yeah.
To emotion.unrealengine.com, you will start seeing this panel where you have different projects that you upload to the cloud. And you can see here, this is the one that we exported. And you can see the link. And this is the link you can copy and paste to send it to other people. You can see here, for instance, that if we click there, they will redirect directly to the model. And that's the thing that we wanted to do. So thank you very much for this, and we catch up in a later tutorial.